peace and hair grease. No. Hey. Happy Monday and welcome to Redefining Authenticity. Okay. I'm going to let her say her part because I was really saying, I was like, no, I can't do it. I'm not going to take it from her. I am
Give
Kim
me my ish. Give you myself.
Raymond, your toolbox essentialist and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And it is also the home of the 365-day challenge. And we are in day 174.
Child,
All right.
4,680 within the same year. That's how it feel like.
All right. Right.
Peace, love, and blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome and welcome back to Redefining Authenticity. I am Sheronda Barksdale, your spiritual life empowerment coach over at Authentically Your Expressions LLC, where I'm helping you live your most authentic life. Welcome back.
Welcome back. I love it. It never gets old. It never gets old. Y'all, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Welcome. Be sure to click, like, follow, share, and subscribe by our YouTube channels. They are floating across the bottom of the screen. And at the end of the show, if you have an opportunity, click on that QR code and it will take you to our YouTube channels as well. So be sure, like I said, like, follow, share, subscribe. If you are here, if you're in the room, shout us out. Say, hey, how you doing? Let us know that you're here and where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you. And, be sure to DM us and let us know some things that you want to hear, some things that you like, what's on your mind, and all that good stuff. Okay? Make sure you check us out. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about the art of self-discipline.
Ooh, child.
Woo, child. This is the lick for me. All day long.
All up and down my back. It went
all up and through end, coming over me like a tidal wave. I love this. I love this series. I love this. And so we're going to be talking about self-discipline. And let me pull it up on here.
Yeah.
Okay. And talking about the art of self-discipline. And it says self-discipline in the ability to make yourself do what you should do when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Self-discipline.
Thank you, Mr. Albert Habarb. Thank you. Because I got called out.
Yes.
I got read.
Uh-oh. I like that it says whether you like it or not.
Whether you feel like it or not.
Whether you feel like it or not.
That part.
To make yourself do what you should do when you should do it.
Let me tell y'all something before we even get started. As life coaches, we are the first fruits. We take in the first fruits. Spirit, God, however you call it, makes the true people who are out here are healers and doing the work. Take it in first. We have got to digest it before we can teach it. We can't. There's a lot of people who teach things that they've never been through. Let's be honest, it happens. But for me, and I know for Kim, there is no way we can come out here and teach you something outside of having to deal with it first. So this is a big topic, and it's been a big one for me recently, and I've been receiving it, kicking and screaming. The baby that'll take the medicine, but you want to fight loose.
Right. And it does. And it's something that, like you said, I've been working on in my life for a season now. And yes, and certain aspects of it have become habits and kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this 365-day 365-day challenge to create healthy habits. So that certain things become, your norm.
Exactly.
But it does require a level of self-discipline.
It does. You got me
Be
looking at labels, girl. I'm looking at labels.
able-
Reading the
Okay.
labels. If it looks like
All
a
right.
paragraph, I don't want it.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. What she's talking about one day last week, I was talking about the importance of reading labels and saying that when you're looking at, making food choices, don't pick the thing that has a whole lot of ingredients. If it has like 5 ingredients, and I was talking about a bag of plain potato chips, and I was saying in with just a plain bag of potato chips, it just said potatoes, oil, and salt. That's it. Okay. You pick up that same bag of plain potato chips and you add salt and vinegar or limon or
Barbecue.
whatever, you get a whole paragraph because they have to add a whole lot of processed items to make it have that flavor. And
Yes.
so just talking about that, and not only her, but I had a couple of other people were like, "Girl, you got us reading these labels."
And I love it.
But I mean, and then after a while, like you said, it just becomes thing you automatically do it. It's nothing for me to pick up something and immediately turn it over. I don't just pick it up because I want it. I'll pick it up and have to make that decision: is do I need it? Okay, and that's the thing. They make everything look beautiful and colorful and all those spectacular things to get our eyes to
Yeah.
want it first. And sometimes that sight overpowers our thoughts. you know. But for me, it's like I had to turn it over, and as soon as I turn it over, I'm like, can't have it. No, I don't want it. But it took time for me to get there.
I understand.
So yes, there's an art to self discipline. There are some things that you need to set in place. It's all about mindset as well, and we're gonna talk a lot about that this evening. So let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
He's about to dive in. All right, here we go.
You want me to take this one? Okay. Remove temptations and distractions, baby.
Mm,
I remember a time that this page it still look good. I'm about to say I remember a time. I won't eat it though. It don't even taste good anymore. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'll eat some French fries from time to time, but like those donuts and candies and stuff like that, because I've taken sugar so much out of my diet.
right,
Even if I taste a little bit of something sweet, it's too much. So this slide says get rid of negative influences. Put away your devices. Cut back on social media. Remember that out of sight, out of mind. And
yeah,
this really started when I had my first child. Because when you have children, you want them to do better than you do.
right,
You do. My mother, growing up, she was a little Deb. My mother kept little Debbie's in the house, but I'm sure it was just the most inexpensive snack type
right,
thing. She was just doing what she could at the time. I'm not mad at her. She taught me how to bake cakes and cookies, and I had cookbooks. And I was figuring out things on my own and stuff like that. But things weren't all as processed either.
right,
There was a lot of more whole grains and whole foods back
right.
then. Now there's so much processes that food has been taken just so it can stay looking the same. Drop a McDonald's fry in your back seat and see if it don't look the same way in about a month from now. Why this motherfucker ain't disintegrating? Why is it not molding?
Right,
It's because it's
right,
been processed so much. So
right,
sometimes, I don't buy certain things and put it in my house at all. My kids
right,
get the apples, they get the yogurts. I'm not saying they don't get cookies every so often, but it's something that I know I'm not gonna want. But they're gonna
right.
get bananas, they'll get applesauce, even though it has some sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
I do certain things intentionally. I buy cases and cases of water. They have their little juices, but even when I try to buy juice, I buy like Capri Suns if I do it because
Right,
they're clear and they don't have all that dye like a
correct.
Kool-Aid jammer will. So I'm
Yeah.
very mindful about you've got to remove. I have to remove temptations when it comes to self-discipline,
Mm-hmm.
including stuff like put your phone down, Sheronda. This is my office space right here, y'all.
Yes.
My phone can't come in here because it's going to. I'm sitting here typing, working on something. If the phone's next to me, I'm gonna stop and look at something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm learning. I'm learning. I have not perfected self-discipline, but I'm definitely learning the things that I need to remove. So I'm
Right.
not being distracted or tempted to do something outside of what I said I'm going to do.
Right. And just like you said, this is my jam right here because it is even those two words together, temptations and distractions. Okay. Sometimes, when it comes to eating, what do? Sometimes if we're sitting there, we're eating, and then we're looking through our phone or we're watching television,
Yeah.
we're not paying attention to how much food we're putting in our mouth. Or we're eating faster and we're not enjoying the food. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, have you ever eaten a bag of cookies and all of a sudden you're looking on the floor? I'm looking on the floor like, did I drop some? Where did it go?
It's
Because
all
I ate it that fast. I just ate it that fast because I was so busy doing something else. So I was involved in something else that I wasn't paying attention to what I was eating. And that's how the overeating starts. You know, I sleep with my phone. Now, some people will put their phone on their nightstand.
Yeah.
You know, some people have learned to put it on their dresser or somewhere where they have to get
Away.
up and go to turn it off. Okay. Mine used to be right under my pillow. It's a wonder that I don't glow in the dark because the phone would be right here. And so all of whatever gamma rays and everything like that are just soaking into my head because I would have my phone need to be that close. Why? I was sleeping. I wasn't going to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is laying right next to me. So who's calling me in the middle
Yeah.
of the night unless somebody is gone
Yeah.
and I can't do anything until the next day anyway,
Anyway.
except walk around in circles because my family is out of town. So, you know, you have to get in the habit of removing those things. You know, how many times I'm guilty of it? I'm gonna raise my hand high. Get on social media and you just start scrolling. Next thing you know, 2 hours have
2 hours
passed by.
have passed by.
So we're not being good stewards of our time when we allow temptations and distractions to
Yeah.
keep us out of being present. We
Yes.
need to be present when we eat. We need to be mindful of the foods that we're eating, just like she said, the foods that we're bringing into our house.
Home. Mm-hmm.
You know, even though I went through a wellness journey and I was going through things, I still have a granddaughter. I have a husband, and I have a daughter who eat different types of food. You know, so I had to put them in places that were not directly in front of my face,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I was showing them the proper things that they could be eating as well, and not bringing that temptation into the house. You
Yes.
know, I also say a good thing with temptations and distractions like that when it comes to food, because I travel a lot. What I do is I look at the menu before I get to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it online. Where are we going? And I look it up and I make my selection so that when I get there, I'm not looking at the menu again and looking at all the fabulous drinks and desserts and everything else like that. I can just say, bring me such and such and so and so, bring me my glass of water. And
Yes.
I'm not tempted by looking at the menu and all of a sudden changing my mind about what it is that I want. We have to
Absolutely.
start doing certain things to get in that mindset of removing those temptations and distractions, because you can't say you're going on a diet and you got 900 boxes of cookies in your cabinet. So every time you open it, them cookies are going to be like, come to me. Okay. Yes, they talk. All of a sudden you heard it. Y'all like, I heard them cookies tell me to come and get one.
They said it.
I heard
They
it.
said
I heard
Yeah,
it.
that's me all day long. And it even comes down to my man. Me and G, Lord have mercy. We've been together for 3 now. You would think it burnt out, but it don't. It's not burnt out. So if we get into the same room together, we get into bed, we'll watch a show together, sit there giggling and laughing, cuddled up, and it just feels comfortable and good. And it's just a good feeling. But that's why I had to create this office space, because I got to get up. There's things I need to do. I need to walk away from you and not be close to you so I can get done the work that I need to get done. Otherwise, I'll be curled up for the next 5 hours and then fall asleep and then get
Because
done.
everything, just like you said, everything in that picture is endorphins, everything, those things that make us feel good.
Feel good.
And, you know, and then we have to start substituting those things. We have to
We
start saying,
do.
okay, no, if I put my phone down and like you said, and I cuddle with my husband and we have a conversation,
Yes.
that's maximizing that time that we have.
Yeah.
That's that quality time. That's one of my love languages, that
Yes.
quality time. If I'm using my phone, is that a good steward of my quality time? Is what, am I going to be in love with the phone? I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I start looking around, and that's the thing. We have to start opening our eyes and seeing what other things are around us that are going to not cause us to have indigestion or a headache or eye strain because we're spending time in social media and eating things that we're not supposed to eat.
Yeah.
You
And I'm
know?
gonna say this before Kim goes to the next slide, but we have to be mindful of what we say we're going to do. It's very important to
Mm.
honor that. This is what I
Mm.
want for my life. If that's your truth, To get something different, you have to do something different. Beginning and end of the story. So when it's time to move on to the next goal that you've set for yourself now, because yeah, the doctor could say you have high blood pressure. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do something about it, right?
Right.
But when it's time to move on, I'm saying I want to get off this medicine. I want to bring my blood pressure down. I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to look at the labels and do the things that I need to do. Be true to it, but remove the temptations and the distractions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, moving on.
Mhm,
Huh. Just what she's talking about. Set clear goals and create plans to achieve them.
mhm,
When you have a specific goal and
mhm.
plans to achieve them, it helps it helps put self-discipline into action. That's huge for me. Something that I've always said, we think of your life as a navigation system. You have to know where you are and then know where you are first. Then you have to be able to put in your navigation system where it is that you're seeking to go. You
Yes.
don't just get in the car and just aimlessly start driving. You have a destination in mind,
Period. Period.
and you have to start being specific about how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
This is where I am. I know I want to get over there. How am I going to get over there? And
Absolutely.
be clear about that, and have some ideas. Now you may not know exactly how you're going to get there, but then that's where you say, all right, I'm not clear on how to necessarily get there, but that's where I can start asking for help.
Yes.
This is the part that I know, this is the part that I don't know, and this is who I need to tap into in order to reach that goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Start seeing, because sometimes we don't know the answer. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't do anything.
Exactly.
What that means is that I need help, or I need more exposure, or I need references. I need something that's going to help me get to that point.
Exactly.
People always say Google University. If you don't know it, Google it and see what it says. And it may give you some suggestions or recommendations. Or, like you said, if you want to go to a human being,
Yes.
go to someone, seek out the help, and don't be afraid to ask for help in setting your goals, so that way you can get some momentum. Because
Yes.
we can get discouraged if we don't know, we haven't set a goal, we don't have a plan. Well, I don't know how to do it, so I'm just not going to do it. That's not the answer.
That's not the answer.
It's not the answer. It's what am I going to do to find out how I can reach there?
Absolutely.
Plane, train, automobile, foot. How am I going to get there?
Yes.
Then you start making your plans to achieve it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And see, this is something I do when I'm working with clients, especially when I have every client of mine is going to create a vision board, period. Because that's the clear goal. You can visualize it at this point. Now I've created a vision board. It's usually digital. It's something that I have them go and do through Photo Grid or a PowerPoint, where you download pictures, from like Google. Just go to Google. You want to travel? Where do you want to travel? Bali. Okay. Go find a picture of Bali and put that on your vision board. Find different places you want to go, things you want to achieve, health, things like that. Okay, now we have a vision. But how do we create the plan? Okay, now each week when I'm working with you, we're going to find, like this says, set goals, 3 steps. The goal is travel. Number 1, do you have a passport? Do you have a passport? If the answer is no, find out the steps. Do you know how much it costs? No, find out how much it costs. Find out the process in order to get this passport. Do what you need to do in order to get there. That's one of your things you need to do to get to Bali. What do the flights look like? How much is it? You don't know? Let's go look that up. Where are you going to stay when you get to Bali?
Right.
What do you want to do when you get to Bali? That makes the plan more clear. Vision boards became a hype because everyone had vision board parties. It's so fun to create it. But what are these steps? What's the plan behind the vision? Each picture you create on a vision board should have at least 3 steps. I need to get my passport. I need to know where I'm going to stay, and I need to know how much the flights are. If start there.
Right.
I want to have a house. Okay, what are the 3 things? You need to see what your credit looking like. Who is going to be your lender?
Right.
What area do you want to live in? Set 3. It's breaking it down into small, actionable steps because we become overwhelmed by just a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the thing I want to do. You can watch, and as life coaches, we are similar to a coach on a football team or a basketball team.
Right.
I'm not out here running with you. The fuck? I'm not playing. But before you even got out there to play the first game against another opponent,
Right.
we set steps. We learned the process. We did the work. You ran the drills. You did all the things that you conditioned your body. That's part of creating the plan in order to get to the goal, whether it's a basketball goal, a soccer goal, or football. You've done something to get you to that point. So that's the point of this particular slide. Set a goal. We want to get these 7 points in this game, right? Then what is how we're going to execute that? And that's the importance of self-discipline.
I absolutely love that. I mean, it can't get any clearer than that. I like that you're talking about steps. She's talking that she is a vision specialist. I'm all about being a toolbox essentialist. What are the tools that we need? It's the same concept. What are the tools that we need to put in our toolbox so that we are prepared for this? Okay. And also, when you are setting those goals and planning to achieve those things, think about some things that may be blockers, and so that you're prepared for that.
The
Okay.
distractions
If,
and
if I if I need to find out about my credit, I may need to hire a person who is a specialist in that. Okay, because I may not be able to do that by myself. I may be able to sit down and talk about the budgeting and like that, but I may not. I may need somebody else. Who are the other players that I'm going to have to play with in order to make this happen? Okay, so that if there's a stumble or I fumble on something, that I can reach out to that other person. And that person's going to be there to help me pick up the ball and help me continue in setting my goals. Okay, so it's important to have the tools that you need. Just like she said, you can't say you want to be a world traveler and you don't even have a passport.
yes,
It's not possible. Make sure that you have the tools that you need so that way you can fulfill those goals.
absolutely.
Excellent points, my friend. Excellent.
I love it. I love it, girl.
Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna practice healthy habits. Hoocha. Self-discipline. Studies have shown that regular exercise, getting good sleep, and eating healthy all help to improve self-discipline and self-control. So we're looking at this. It says clean air. Y'all know I'm a big proponent of going outside. Outside. I'm in Atlanta, so the air is this clean. I mean, it's this clean. It's pollutant. I know there's pollutants. I don't care. But I'm going outside anyway because it's clear. It's cleaner than the one in my house. This air in here is going to be recirculated until I open the windows, let it circulate. But I'm closing my windows back because I don't like bugs. Okay, straight up. So if I'm gonna deal with the bugs, I'm going outside and then running back in from them. But I'm going to get that clean air breathing through my body. It allows more oxygen to come in. Clean air is not just the clean air. It's remembering to take deep breaths. Give your organs and your brain more oxygen than just your. Most of y'all are taking very short breaths, especially if you're dealing with anxiety. You take short breaths on a regular basis. You've got to learn to stop, especially in anger and frustrations and times of anxiety, panic attacks, to take the deep breaths because that's going to help you. Kim, I'm gonna let you go to the next one on this little, the little wheel that I put on here. But those things are practicing those healthy habits, just clean air will help. What they say, self-discipline and self-control.
Self-control. Okay, and then the next one is sleep. Y'all, sleep is so important. There are people who are night owls and they can stay up all night. But if you work during the day, that doesn't kind of work for you because when are you giving your body a chance to restore itself? Sleep is restorative.
Yes.
Sleep is important because it's going to, if you're a person who exercises, like I do on a regular basis, and you're tearing muscles, you have to give your body time to rest and to restore. Okay. There are things that your body does while it is at rest. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and they say it's good to have a glass of water when you wake up because there is mucus that has formed in your body as you sleep, but there are protective properties that go along with that. So it's necessary for you to get sleep so that way your body has a chance to repair and restore itself. That way you have an opportunity to wake up and be able to think clearly because you're not having brain fog because of lack of sleep.
Yes.
You want to take time to sleep. Now, some people require more sleep than others. And the whole point of it is know yourself. If
Yeah.
you are a person who functions at night, then it may be best for you to take a night job because you're at your optimal level there.
Yes.
Okay. I'm one of those people. As soon as the sun sets, I'm like a baby. I'm starting to bob and weave. Okay, it's time because everything in my body says go to sleep. I'm an early riser. Okay, and I require about anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of sleep. 6 is even better.
Yes.
But sleep is so important and critical to our ability to function.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, so again, sleep. Go
Yes.
to sleep. Put those distractions down because that's keeping you from getting the sleep that you need. You ever feel like you just going to sleep and all of a sudden you blink and all of a sudden it's time to wake up and you're like, I just went to
You
sleep.
don't even feel like you went.
Doesn't even feel like you went.
Yeah.
Get the sleep that you need. Give your body an opportunity to heal itself.
I love that. I love that. And I tell my kids that too. Go to
Yes.
sleep so your body can repair.
Yes.
Go to sleep. But yeah, we're on medical care. So
Mm,
I understand we're in a time right now where they are trying to cut funding to Medicaid, Medicare, and different things. It can be costly, but it's
mhm,
still high. It's one of those things you have to prioritize. For myself as an entrepreneur, I attempted to go through the marketplace and they wanted me to pay like $350 per month
right.
for insurance, and then on top of that, you got to pay a deduct. You got to get meet a deductible. It was just too much. But I
Yeah.
found a facility. It's a facility, but it's a group of doctors around here who do a sliding fee scale
Hmm.
based on your income. So based off your income, there's places on almost probably major cities mostly, but you have to find places that will work with you because
Hmm.
the way your body feels is going to determine how self-disciplined you are. When
Correct.
you're sad, when you're depressed, you're going to find ways to eat everything, do anything, just allow your body to just be completely out of control simply because you don't feel well. But if you go and make sure that you're getting your labs drawn, making sure there's nothing going on with your body, it's easier to maintain self discipline when you know that you are doing good, when your body's doing well, or
That's
even
right.
when you know there's something going on. Now I know I need to exercise. I worked for a orthopedic doctor for 2 years. And the thing he had us promote the most with our clients was 30 minutes of cardio every day. No, excuse me, 5 days a week, 150. So that's what he called it, 150. 30 minutes for 5 days a week will put your heart in the most optimum prime condition because now you're conditioning your heart. He was like, you
Hmm.
don't even worry about doing nothing else. 30 minutes of cardio will keep you in a good space with your heart. So little things like that will help us be more self-disciplined because now you have the energy to do what you need to do. But when you're not feeling
Hmm.
well, you're not going to be disciplined to do everything else.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then again, like you said, with medical care, and I have to jump on this bandwagon as well because you have to have a partnership with all of your physicians, whether it be with your medical doctor, whether it be with your dentist, whether it be with a
Yes.
dermatologist, things like that, different areas, you need to have a team of people who are working with you for
Yes.
your medical care. And they should be partnering with you to get to a space where you're not on any medication. I spoke with my primary care physician and we set a goal to not have me be on any medication. And
Nice.
we have brought that to fruition. For
Wow.
a year, I was not on anything. I was just taking my regular multivitamins and my vitamin D and B12 and things like that. But we were partnering together. It's not to, medical care is not to create a band-aid to cover things that can be detrimental to our health and that can, be something that's progressive and be the cause of our demise. We don't want
Yes.
that to be the case. We want it to be where we're partnering with our doctors and we're asking the questions. My husband had 2 doctor's appointments today. I said, "Did you write down the questions that you have for your doctor? Because they're quick to take your money,
Yes.
okay? And if I only have 15 minutes, you're gonna get 15 questions from
Question.
me. I'm going to ask you 15 minutes worth of questions that way I'm not walking out of there more confused than I was when I walked in. It's
Exactly.
important for us to have questions, to ask questions. Something doesn't feel right. I'm having a pain here. Something's going on, and to be able to ask the questions and to ask them, what is it that I need to do to assist with dealing with this, as opposed to just putting me on a litany of medication. That's not what we want. That's not medical care. That's
Yeah.
putting a band-aid over something that can be a potential hazard to our health.
And I don't
So
want to say that too much because some people really do have to be on medications. There are medications
yes.
for depression. There's some things for anxiety where it's actual, not a situational depression thing or situational where it's something you can be weaned off of. Don't be afraid if you do have to remain on medication.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
I'm not
certain
saying you
time
don't have to be on
frames.
medication. The goal should be that, but
Yeah,
if there is medication that you need to
yeah.
take,
I'm just
that's
throwing
what
that
comes.
out there
Have
real
that
quick.
conversation.
That's because I know a lot of vegans who are truly vegans and they still, their blood pressure will not come down. So I don't want people to think that that's going to be ultimately. You may
Right.
not have. You may have to because don't stop taking the blood pressure medicine. We don't need you having a stroke,
Right.
please, or a heart attack. But that's why you partner with your doctor.
Yes.
That's why you
Partner
partner.
with your doctor. I need to stop for a minute because I see my battery is going dead.
Uh
Hold on.
oh. Let's
I don't
get
know
that
where we
battery
go.
fixed. Let's get that battery fixed. But yeah,
I
in
was
terms of
like, wait
medical
a minute.
care,
I was like, why is my screen going dim?
why
Oh,
in terms of
y'all.
medical care though, I'm gonna sum that up real quick for y'all. Just be mindful to do what you can. Make sure you can team up with your doctors. Make sure you get your eyes checked. Make sure, like Kim said, get your teeth checked. Get everything checked that you can so that you're in optimum health. So that you'll want to practice healthy habits on a consistent basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am back. All
Yeah.
right. Let's move on to low stress.
Mhm.
Again, what are some things that you are doing to, to decrease your level of
Yeah.
stress? Are you breathing? Like she said,
Yeah.
are you participating in activities such as yoga or like I said, meditation or journaling? Where is your outlet if you're in a high stress situation?
Yeah.
We always want to have a space of solace, someplace where we can go, where we can come to center, where we can stop and breathe and think about what it is that we need to do in a particular situation. And if it's chaotic everywhere we go, if it's chaotic at work, if it's chaotic at home, if it's chaotic, where is your space of peace?
Yeah.
Where is your quote unquote prayer closet? Where is it that you go when you need to just decompress, when you
Yes.
need to self regulate?
Hmm.
Where is that space at? What does it look like for you? And are you tapping into that on a daily basis?
Yeah.
There are things like positive intelligence, where rubbing your fingers together
Yes.
give you a bit of comfort and soothing, and taking a moment to have a brief breath.
Yeah.
What is that thing that you go to when you're feeling that heightened sense of anxiety? What's
Yeah.
in your toolbox that you're pulling out? Is it a prayer? Is it that meditation? Is it that deep breathing? What is it that's going to take you to that place of lowering your stress levels? We have to
Absolutely.
start building on that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna throw it out there real quick. There's practices like meditation, like Kim was talking about, and tapping. If you ever look up tapping, is tapping where you can tap different pinpoints of your body that helps reduce stress. But the whole point of having a practice of meditation, of tapping, or whatever it is, in order to reduce your stress level, is so that when you're in the midst of stress, you can call on that same feeling. If you meditate frequently, you can be at a high stress environment and still have your peace. You have to be able to call on that. That's what the importance of having a regular practice healthy habits, a regular practice of low stress feeling so that you know how to call upon that when you come home and you have uh, three kids running at your ankle as soon as you come in the door, you're able to, I remember the feeling. I remember the
Right.
feeling, and I can handle this. This is what I can handle. I can do what I need to do. I can tap, 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 do what I need to do in order to pull myself back down to ease so that I'm not feeling stress everywhere I go. That's why
Right.
you need to practice.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, a good self discipline again when it comes to Lotra is transitioning, giving yourself enough time to transition between work and home, or between home and work, vice versa, wherever you go. That you're giving yourself an opportunity to make that transition that you need to make.
Mhm.
Sometimes we're back to back to back with meetings and things like that, and we're just sliding from one thing into the other, and we're not giving ourselves a chance to transition.
Right.
Sometimes that's where the stress comes in at as well. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
work
Find it.
on that.
Find what works for you.
Building again those healthy habits. That's my thing. Making wellness a habit. What are we doing to keep those things in place?
So now we're going to talk about moderate exercise. It says moderate. It didn't say you have to go in the gym and run for your life. It doesn't say you have to go to a gym at
You
all.
know,
At all. Moderate exercise. Kim brought me this little bike that I can sit here, and it's so comforting. My little thighs just be going and burning. But I can
mhm,
just pedal on the little bike while I'm doing some work, while I'm sewing something, while I'm minding my dang on business, playing a game on my phone, whatever I'm doing. And
right,
it's just moderate exercise. I can't do walking because I had surgery on my foot some years ago. And so for some reason, he built the arch so high that if I do too much walking, it just
right.
swells. It just, but that doesn't mean I can't exercise at all. I had to learn what low impact exercise was and do it moderately. So I adjusted. Everything doesn't have to look like jump roping real fast. So you see people on the bikes that they standing up and they
Yeah,
exercising. It doesn't have to look like that. Moderate exercise again, getting our cardio working, doing those 30 minutes per day, finding a video on YouTube because we do
absolutely.
that too around here. Just
Mhm.
find something on YouTube that's low impact that you could do, but it's moving your body so that you are feeling, you would believe the endorphins that are released into your brain the moment you exercise and keep your heart at a steady pace, a little bit high. And then you slowly bring it down, but the endorphins are there now. So now
Oh,
you feel much better and now you feel more inspired to be more self disciplined.
yes, absolutely. All right. Moderate exercise, just like she said, is huge. And like you said, doing exercises for your body. If you have bad knees, we're not going to expect you to be doing burpees and jumping jacks and all those other things. Find something that is doable. But when they say moderate, also they're talking about not doing things that are so easy that they're ineffective.
Hmm.
Your body can get used to doing something, especially as you're getting older. And we talk about the importance of strength training. Eventually, you're going to have to go from those 2 pound weights to those 5 pound weights, those 8 pound weights, those 10 pound weights, and so on. You
Hmm.
want to start making sure that you're, you know, challenging yourself to some degree so that way you see the effectiveness of the exercise. You're not doing it for it to be easy, because then it's not going to be effective after a while. When your body's going to be shocked that you're doing something initially, but once you do it for a week or so, all of a sudden it's like, all right, yeah, we've done this. We know how to do that. Think about people who ride the bus or who do a lot of walking. If they do a lot of walking all the time because they don't have a vehicle, eventually they're not going to lose weight
Yeah.
from walking because their body is used to walking.
And I don't think this is about losing weight. It's just about moderate
It's
exercise.
about
It's not
moving your
about
body. It's about
about
movement and
moving.
mobility.
It's moving and moving. And even like for me, I have some weights that are 5 pounds, but that's all I got. But I learned up the reps.
All
Duh, Sharonda. I upped the
all
rep.
of that.
I was like, ding, 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 ding. So I'm
All of
doing
that.
10 at first. I don't have no 10 pounds or 8 pounds. So I was like, G was like, do 15, do
There are
20.
ways around it.
Do
Yes.
25. Figure it out. But exercise. Move your body. Move.
Movement
Your
is
knees usually
important.
hurt because you ain't
Movement,
moving them.
right.
And then from
And
doing all that
movement.
crouching tiger, hidden dragon shit you was doing in your 20s. You don't wore out
Right.
the cartilage. Never mind.
Okay. Okay. But like
That's why
you
you're
said,
doing moderate exercise
right,
right
right,
right now.
right. It's all about movement and mobility. That's
Yeah.
going to increase your quality of life as you get older. Okay. And the last one here is good food. Okay. I'm
Good.
all about that. You want to eat food. And then when you're eating the food, consider how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
How do you feel after you eat that food?
Yeah.
Some people eating, they're just like, well, like my husband used to say, oh my goodness, I'm just eating mine. My stomach broke. Okay. You shouldn't eat to the point of discomfort, or you shouldn't eat something that's causing you nausea, or it's causing you gas, or it's causing inflammation. You want to have good food that's going to make you feel good after you eat it. Why do we punish ourselves? I know a young lady who is lactose intolerant, but she loves shakes. And she's like, I don't care. So she's like, I'm gonna go and throw up later, but I just have to have that shake. And I'm like, what?
No.
That can't be good for your body. And she was like, I pass that place every day and I just have to have a shake. That's not self-discipline. This is where we're saying we have to listen to our body, we have to listen to the cues. I'm one of these people who has a very low threshold for pain. So as soon as I eat something or something hurts, and I'm like, I don't have to ever have it again,
Yeah.
ever, because
Don't
it
pinch
hurt.
y'all. She is not playing.
You can't pinch me hard, and I'm just like, ow. Okay, it's too
Kim ain't
much.
doing that.
Not doing it. But that's not what everybody does. But we have to think about the food that we eat and how it makes us feel.
That's a
Not
big
how it
one.
makes us feel with regards to endorphins, how it makes
That's
us
gonna feel
feel
good.
physically. Do I feel like I don't eat pork or beef because after some time it just felt like I was eating rocks. My body just did not seem to digest it well. And every time I ate it, I was like, I don't feel good. Why is it taking days and days for this to leave my body?
Yeah.
This can't be good. And so, we have to, just like your car has indicator lights, our bodies have indicators that tell us when something is not good or something is bothering us. And if you're one of those people who chooses to ignore it, your body's going to eventually show you. It was
Period.
like, all right, I tried to tell you, now I'm going to show you what happens. Don't let it get to that point. Listen to your body and listen to what it's telling you is good for it and what's not. Shazam. Right? Are we moving on?
Mm-hmm.
It's on me. Practicing self-discipline with one new habit can help you stay focused. Once you have the first habit down, then move on to another. Okay? It says only start one thing at a time.
Yep.
Okay? Sometimes that's what happens. It's hard to be disciplined when you're trying to do too many things at once.
Oh.
Start with one thing. And my recommendation, because like I said, I've been doing this habits thing now for, like I said, 174 days. Okay. Start with something that you may already be doing, and it's called a habit stack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So say you're already drinking a glass of water and you want to drink more water. Go ahead and add an extra glass of water because it's something that you're doing already, so you don't feel so threatened by it, or you don't feel like, oh my goodness, you're going to eventually do something new, but you may start out with that. And then, like I said, once you have that down, you say, okay, I'm drinking a little bit more water, now I want to work on sugar and
Yeah.
decreasing the amount of sugar that I'm eating. So now I'm going to move on to something else. You've got to build confidence first, and to be able to show yourself that, oh, okay, I'm capable of doing this. I can do it. And once you see it, you can do it, then it's easier to add something new on because you've already set in your mind that you can accomplish the things that you started already.
Right.
We do better when we find something that works for us, and we grow and we build on it. And we're just like, okay, I can do it. Now I feel confidence. It comes from confidence. That self-discipline comes from the confidence in knowing that you can do what it is, like you said you wanted to do.
I think it was you that called me out on this because there was something at the time I was trying to do multiple things. He was like,
Mm,
start one thing at a time. And I was like, okay.
wow.
Like I like to throw everything in at one time and try to push myself really hard. But the truth of the matter is when you do one thing at a time, now this thing is natural. The first thing you start, it becomes a natural part of your journey. Then it's easier to do something else because that's nature now.
Right.
Now I'm not beating myself up because I didn't get none of it done.
Right.
So that's what ends up happening. We don't get any of it done because
Right.
we're trying to do too many things at one time. So starting one thing at a time is definitely beneficial to becoming a habit. Just do one, Sharonda. And it frustrates me because I'm somebody who wants to put this extra amount of pressure and like, but I want all these things done. No, do this. Now we can move on. Y'all notice I have a lot of pillows gone.
Hey, all right.
Pillows are
All
getting,
right.
but I had to start there. There's a book I
Right.
want to write. This I want to do. This I want to do. This I want to do. Do it. Me and Kim, we started with this. You remember, Kim? I came to you and I said I need to
Yes.
start somewhere. And
Yes.
so we started with the show. Then I started getting that became a habit. We started doing our show weekly. Then I
Right.
started making sure I sold my pillows. Then I started adding things on slowly but surely. But it's so much better than trying to do too many things at one time.
That's
I'm
it.
so glad
That's
you
it.
called
Because
me
you
on
will
that
talk
one.
yourself out of it. You'll talk yourself out of
Straight out of it.
everything,
All of it.
all of it. Because you, I just can't do it. Because you had 9,000, you had too many things on your plate, and now you're full. Got to scrape some of that stuff off. It's too
Yes,
much.
it was too much.
It's
It
too
really
much.
was. It was.
One thing at a time. Okay.
That my friend.
Moving on.
All right, y'all. We talked about stress, right? Low stress. Managing your stress. High stress can negatively impact that part of your brain that assists in self control and decision making. Practice stress management skills and regular relaxation exercises. This is so important because we live in a high stress environment, especially these days right now.
Yes.
There, I have come to a point. I get on IG and I follow very specific people because I do want to know what's going on in the world. And
Hmm.
then I'm done. I'll take in about 5 videos and that's it. And I just want to have awareness, but I'm not letting it shift how I feel. I'm
Correct.
not going to be afraid. I'm not going to be worried because why I need extra stress? For what? Because this is a maybe, it might happen, it may not happen, whatever, while I know what I can control.
Right.
That's how I manage my stress. What can I control? I could do things like over here, relax. I can listen to some music. I have certain hobbies that I do. I take my medications like I need to. I have my therapist like I need to. I motivate. I don't travel nearly as much as I would like to, but that's okay. The exercise, managing stress will help you be more self-disciplined because you're not on high alert. High alert, high stress makes you want to binge eat. It makes you want to have the sugars, the things that are going to make you feel self-soothing. That's what it ends up being.
Hmm.
Trying this, I had to call myself out on this recently, y'all. Oh my God, I didn't even realize I was doing it. Buying little small things. They weren't costing more than $3, $4 something, but doing it over and over again, that adds up over time.
Hmm.
I realize you're stressed. You're trying to self-soothe by buying these small. You think it's just a little thing that you're purchasing to make you feel better. That
Hmm.
what they call it, shopping and retail, about retail therapy.
Hmm. Yes.
Retail therapy, while you're buying little things here, just to feel good, but you're not managing.
Correct.
You're not managing the stress. So I had to step back and be like, oh, you've gotten away from the meditation that you used to do on a regular basis.
Hmm.
You're doing it, but you're not doing it as often as you used to. Can you remember we used to do the meditation with
Yes.
Baba Kaya?
Yes.
I miss that so much.
Yes.
Even though I used to doze a little bit sometimes. Anyway,
Yes.
but I miss just little things like that.
Right.
You have to know what relaxes you. Even getting in the shower for me, buying Dr. Teal's, their little body wash, Kim. The smell that
Mm.
comes up that you hit the eucalyptus and the lemon one. Child,
Yes.
do it for me. And I'll be in
Yes.
that shower and I just thank God for my arm. Think when I'm mindful, be practicing mindfulness, being
Yes.
aware of my body and thanking God for every piece and every part of it helps manage my stress because I'm present. I'm not worrying about nothing and I'm taking care of me. Those are basic things that we have to do to manage our stress.
Yes. Like I said, you said it all. You know, it is, it's important that we do, like you said, manage it and not just do a quick fix. We're in a microwave society where we want everything quick and now and instant. But you know, we're taking the instant over the long lasting effects. You
Absolutely.
know, that's how people hoard. You know, you're just bringing things in, and then you don't manage it. And next thing you know, it's taking over your entire space. That's an excellent example of what it looks like when it's not managed.
That's it.
It's out of control. And then now all of a sudden you're in this mountain of things that you purchased just to self-soothe, and now it's like, now what? Now I don't know. Now it's out of control.
That's out of control.
Okay, so we have to get out of doing things that are going to be that quick fix, and think about those things that are going to be long term.
Yes.
I can listen to music because music is going to be there, and so I can listen to my jazz, or I can listen to whatever kind of music makes me
Yeah.
feel. I can move my body in different ways, so it's not something that's going to become redundant over time.
Yeah.
You can do different types of exercises. You can relax different types of ways. You can listen to different kind of music. You can have different hobbies. All these things around here. There are different ways that you can motivate yourself. There are different types of therapy that you can do. Aromatherapy, going out
Art
and speaking
therapy.
to my, all of those things. All of those things. You can pick different places to travel. So there are endless ways to manage stress long term, because you have different options in which to do it. Don't look for the quick fix. Look for that thing that's going to be long term.
That's
Okay.
it. I was going to say something. You said something real quick. Oh, with managing it, what I learned for me, especially with the self-soothing thing. Okay, instead of spending $4 per day, I said, okay, let's break it down slowly, Sharon. Let's do it 4 days a week, then 3 days a week, then 2 days a week, and then okay, just buy that thing one time a week. It's hard to cut something complete. It's just hard, y'all. We're not making it seem like it's easy to
No.
just shift into the space of self-discipline and management of stress. But it's that I have to, like, I can't. I'm not that person that just could shut off. I know people who just shut down. I'm done. I'm not doing this thing anymore. Okay, no, I have to break this thing down, so I'm not sitting here like a junkie shaking because I don't completely away from myself.
Right.
But I slowly start managing it slowly. Or when it comes to meditation, okay, I'm already meditating one time a day. Don't forget to do it at night, Sharonda. Yes, you wake up and you meditate before you get started. Do it at night too. Get back to your nighttime, and then add a midday one if I need to, or find other ways to manage the stress. But it's doable. But I just want to make sure and me, I'm sure Kim agrees that we want y'all to know it's not simple. This thing is not
Yeah.
simple. We are in a microwave society where things have to.
Right.
We want things to quickly.
Yeah.
Kim, I like this.
Yes. This is a good one.
This is
This is
good.
a good one.
We got two
You know,
more that we're gonna be talking about, y'all. We got two more parts to this too.
two more parts, y'all. We are not finished. Just like she said, it's self-discipline is, it's about mindset. It's about changing how we think about the things that we do. A thing that I always say, it's about responding and not reacting to the things that are
Um,
going on around us. And if we get to that space where we're responding, we're going to have less stress. We're going to create spaces that are going to be more meaningful for us, that are
yeah,
going to allow us to be more present in the things that and we're going to be able to see how we can enjoy our lives and not bring undue stress to ourselves by not having a plan. Just like you said, we're just like as coaches, you got to have a game plan, have a vision, have some means of being able to accomplish things. And that's the problem. We're in the age of society. We're in a technology space
yes.
where we have so much access to so much information,
Mhm.
and we'd be remiss if we don't use those resources that are
Those
around us.
resources, yes,
We have to get out of our own way sometimes, and that's why it says self-discipline. It starts within. It starts with looking at some of the manageable things that we can do and asking for the help that we need. And
absolutely,
it's wonderful to have platforms like this, because this way we can scratch the surface. We can pique your interest and get you thinking about some of the things that you can do differently that are going to affect your quality of life.
absolutely.
All right, so wrap us up, Miss
So
Rolanda.
yeah, you have two amazing life coaches right here that can help you with the art of self discipline. Again, we'll be having two more parts about self discipline that are going to be equally as amazing, if not better. Make sure you're following us. You see that little ticker at the bottom that's been scrolling through? Make sure you follow us on both of our pages. You'll be able to find us everywhere, wherever we are when you get there, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram and all that good stuff. Thank you. Make sure you're clicking like. Make sure you're clicking subscribe. Make sure you click share this with someone else, because while you may not need as much self-discipline, someone you know probably does. Thank you so much for being here, and come back Make sure you come back, okay? We want to see y'all next week.
All
Peace, love,
right.
and blessings to each and every one of you.
Peace.